It's a big weekend up in Rochester. A lot people are coming from like Buffalo, Syracuse, and I'm hearing some people from Canada coming down for the shows, Jimmy.
Really?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Maybe we can address the comedian who's got to go before the Human Rights Tribunal in Canada because he insulted a couple of lesbians.
Let me tell you, they do not have the First Amendment as we do.
They are terrible.
You got to really watch your fucking ass up there, what you say, or you can actually be brought up on charges. It's amazing.
Although I don't know if it's the... We'll talk about it after because I want to get into it because I don't know if it's the country or if it's like in this country, like if a woman Heckler just sued you in court, you have to go through the process.
It's the country.
But who's pushing this? The woman's lawyer's pushing it.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, the country would probably leave it alone. It's something that's on the books that I'm sure you'd have to pursue.
Yeah.
But, you can't... They have a thing up there about racism and sexism, and where you cannot make fun of it. You can't call anyone out on it.
Yeah, so Canada really never, ever, ever needs to talk about the U.S. negatively.
I heard I'd had to be Anthony crapping on Canada.
That was me just now.
No. You guys heard about the comic, right?
No.
Oh, but this is a big story.
There's a comedian up there. He was on stage, an MC, and I don't know all the details, but two lesbians were like causing a ruckus, and I guess it got really nasty.
He started going after their sexual orientation.
Yeah.
Like any comic would to a heckler.
Yeah, you see two girls with mullets yelling at you. Of course, you're going to start attacking who they are and what they do in the bedroom. And there's like this Human Rights Tribunal or something in Canada. Canada is just really annoying with, his name, he destroyed these hecklers. And he's facing a fine.
You're pretty much not allowed to they call it a violation of people's rights up there when you just talk about their, their sexual preference, race.
Can you tell us where'd you get the story, bro? I'm dying to see it.
It's all over the internet. We're looking at it right now. If you just Google lesbian hecklers or Canadian comedian,
cool,
it'll probably pop up.
Yeah, it's a big story, man.
The big V on the screen last night during Lost made me think of it.
I'm just wondering if was it at Yuck Yucks?
I don't know. I want to say Vancouver or the west coast of Canada. I don't know.
Yeah, Vancouver.
Was it Vancouver?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I didn't have much interest because the girls, of course, the women are suing them. So I don't know how much of it is actually the Canadian government or how much of it is just now he can face a fine by.
Well, they don't have a First Amendment right like we do as far as freedom of speech goes. So a lot of people they're confused as to that. They think you could go up there and talk the same way you can here, but you can't.
It says here it was a performance at a place called Zesty's, a Vancouver restaurant.
Zesty's?
Wow.
Because
the guy should have been arrested for playing a crappy place.
Couldn't get arrested. Yeah.
Even Michael Richards didn't. The only thing that happened to him was social.
Yeah.
And he nigged.
Yeah. He had the right to say it. I mean, there wasn't any charges.
Nothing.
But Canada's a little different. You got to. That's why I think satellite radio had a hard time getting into Canada in the first place was because of the content, and it wasn't so much the cursing or anything. They didn't care about that. It's the ability where we can pretty much talk openly about race and sexuality and things that they put the kibosh on.
Yeah.
How's this satellite doing in Canada? Because it took a while.
10 miles in, people love it. The rest is the Yukon. Right. So, a few SEALs are listening.
Right. You guys want to talk to Brian in Canada?
Sure. If he's one of these two, I'd love to.
Brian.
Hey, boys.
Hey, Brian.
Man.
Hey, listen, before I say anything, I just want to let you know that I've been following you guys for years, way back to Syndication Underground. So you know I'm a fan, right?
Thank you, buddy.
You know I'm a fan.
Thank you.
But listen, Anthony, sometimes if you don't know something, it's okay to say I don't really know.
That is true.
All right.
He
Go
doesn't.
ahead. Enlighten me, Canadian.
To express... To say that we do not have freedom of expression in Canada.
I said it's freedom of speech, by the way, but go ahead.
Freedom of freedom of speech, or a form of speech being a form of expression.
Yeah.
I can't even believe Weeze didn't jump down your throat about that. Of course, we can say what the fuck we want up here.
Oh yeah, with impunity as far as being brought up on any kind of even civil charges for expressing yourself as a comedian, heckling a couple of customers?
Yes, because if that was not true, a lot of comedians would be, in trouble, and, people would know about it. What happened here was that this lesbian brought up this suit, and the Human Rights Tribunal of British Columbia...
Tribunal.
Tribunal, that sounds great.
Yeah, that's what they're calling it. they're saying, look, I don't know if we even have jurisdiction here, but this lesbian it feels like she was harassed, and that's the whole point of it. And you know, she's a dumb cunt, but the fact that she was picked on, she thought, well, you know, how can I do something about this? And she found herself a lesbian lawyer. And now they're talking about that was actually harassment.
So that's I'm not to interrupt you, but that's what I'm saying. It's like basically it's not the government pushing this. It is a citizen, like in the U.S.
Yeah,
she could sue. She could say he harassed me because of my sexuality. I was treated in a discriminatory fashion, and the courts would say, okay, you're suing for discrimination, but it's not the court saying that it's her saying it.
Yeah, it's her, and she feels like he called her a fat, ugly lesbian that somebody in the audience should shove a dick in her mouth to shut her up. And then she felt that he was discriminating against all lesbians when he's trying to just say, look, this is how it goes. You fucking nail a heckler so it doesn't get out of control.
But Canadian,
then she threw a drink in his face, and he grabbed her glasses and broke her glasses, and turned into a bit of
She's
a
a fucking cunt. She's an absolute cunt. As a comic, I've had cunts like that in the audience before.
Yeah.
You know what they're doing. I've never personally, in 20 years of doing comedy, seen a comedian just attack two women who are having drinks and enjoying a show. I have never witnessed that.
Well, he said that they came into the club and they sat down and they were clearly. He said that. What did he say? They came in. They didn't even look like they wanted to be at a comedy club. They were just sitting around with their lesbian table, having a lesbian conversation about their fucking lesbian life in a fucking comedy club. And he's like, "Excuse me, show going on over here." So they got, they're fucking lesbians, and they just decided, well, no man's going to tell me what to do. So they got louder and more obnoxious, and he fucking shut them up, and now they can't take it.
It really is despicable. But I'm going to say something. I think it's the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting. Is that what it's called?
CBC, yeah.
Is a lot worse than even what we have here. They really are very, very uptight about race and sex. It's like political correctness squared when it comes to what Canada will allow you to get away with. I know Howard got in trouble because he said some stuff which really shouldn't have gotten him in trouble. And I know that their broadcasting stuff is very fucking strict.
Well, CBC is very sensitive to like people in BC, in British Columbia, on the West Coast. It's just like it's so politically correct over there that it fucking resonates east along the rest of the country, and then everybody gets all. We're very politically correct over here, but the CBC will, like, if they're in the middle of an interview with somebody and somebody drops an F-bomb or something like that, they'll air it because that's just. The flow of the
Hey,
it's
hey,
sort of
shithead!
and fucking
Hey, shithead!
At the same time.
Hey, shithead! I haven't been listening really because I've been doing a little research.
I'm sorry.
You do have a constitutional provision guarantees you
Section
freedom of
2B of the
expression.
Charter.
Shut up! I'm talking Section 1 of the Charter, the so-called limitation clause. Canada's freedom of expression, not absolute and can be limited under certain situations. Section 1 of the Charter states, and despite these protections, in practice, Canada has had a string of high-profile prosecutions and jailings of writers for their political opinions as expressed through their writings in magazines and web postings. And there's examples from as recent as 2007 with the Ontario Human Rights Commission, somebody writing stuff about Muslims, another man writing stuff about blacks. And a neo-Nazi was given 6 months in prison for just expressing himself and not inciting and everything. So yeah, that's why I'm sympathetic. I'm saying your freedom of speech isn't the protection that is allowed under our freedom of speech. So you have to watch what you say, not all the time, and not walking on eggshells. I'm not saying that, but I'm right, you're wrong. Go fuck yourself.
Well, I'm offended.
Well. You should be.
To find myself a lesbian lawyer.
Go ahead, Canadian.
But it is if you can put somebody in jail for voicing political opinions like that.
There's a problem.
You're no better in that area than China.
Well,
that's exactly what China does.
Anybody in jail for expressing political opinions.
Yeah, I have it right here.
I know you have it, but you just read it. You read a heading. Like, get into the meat.
All right.
All right.
You want to hear about the meat of it? Research it yourself. What the fuck am I going to do?
here we go.
Read to you? It's there.
Okay to say I don't know, Ant.
It's there. But I do know. That's what I did. I read about this. I know about this. Come on.
Such a fan, I tell you to go fucking suck a dick.
Oh, my God.
You are a fan, so you should tell him that. It's a nice way to part.
All right, Brian.
Look up. Yeah, there's a couple of things you can look up. Just look it up yourself.
Google it.
Read it. Google it.
I know you're allowed to have diverse political opinions in Canada. I'm not saying that they're Nazis, but there are certain. Look, Nazis I think are fucking horrendous. But the bottom line is, if they're writing something and they're not again outwardly encouraging people to go out and commit acts of violence, what they say has to be allowed.
Yeah.
And if you think Muslims are despicable or blacks are despicable, I think your opinion is kind of shitty. But it has to be allowed. You can't tell people, because what is offensive is fucking arbitrary. It changes.
Exactly.
People find, in certain segments of this population, people find interracial relationships, certain segments of this room, I should say. But people find interracial relationships to be deeply, religiously, and morally offensive. So I guess if you're going to kowtow to fucking a random community standards, then I guess anybody advocating interracial relationships is violating a very personal and intense belief for certain people.
Yeah.
So I guess that should be fucking punishable.
Well, but nobody in Canada is saying, I think blacks are despicable.
No, I mean even in the U.S., brother. Even here, too. I'm not just shitting on Canada. I'm saying
no one in Canada is saying that?
Well, they're not being led to jail because they say something like that.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
What about any kind of penalty if they say something like that in public and somebody complains?
Well, I think the person, the complainant, would have, I guess, some sort of reason to, explore whatever sort of legal means they might have to, in retribution to what was said to them.
Why though?
Why? Why would they have any say in it when because of freedom of speech? If you're not inciting a riot or what have you, you could just express your opinion that you feel.
Certain things are still illegal. Assault is illegal. Verbal assault is illegal. Harassment is sort of, I don't know.
But I'm not talking harassment. I'm talking, you're just expressing your opinions about a race that you don't like or disagree with for some reason, and you have signs like we have here, that say some very offensive things on them, and you carry them around. That you can't do that up there without some kind of fucking consequences.
Well, you can, because in one of the cities here, the mayor's there's some Jew mayor in one of the cities up in a major city in Canada, and there was a rally for something, and somebody came up and had a picture of him with a mustache on and the SS uniform on, and his parents were apparently in a prison camp or something like that, and there was nothing they could do because the guy was just out there with a sign expressing his dislike for the guy or whatever.
I don't know. All right, you want to be America.
No, it's the same here, though. It's like I'm tired of people's being offended counting for something. It should not. It should not. It's more coddling. And you wonder why college students are committing suicide every 10 minutes? It's because we've trained people that there's never any fucking, you're never going to lose. Everybody's the same. It's okay. And then the first time they get a fucking D on a test, they toss themselves out a fucking 13th floor window because they can't handle it.
Yeah.
It really is. It's not, and again, I'm not I like Canada, but I avoided going to Canada for a long time and doing gigs for that reason. It really annoyed me, and I'm going back up to Montreal this year to do the Nasty Show at the festival, but I avoided Canada for that reason because I just, not that I felt I was going to get in trouble, but I was so disgusted by it, I just didn't want to perform there.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know there's going to be a problem. I know that I'm going to get killed by for what?
Well, this is how diverse we are, Jimmy. Our XM and Sirius companies didn't have to merge.
They just kind of went up there together, hand in hand?
No, they're still separate. XM is still separate from Sirius.
Oh, okay.
Can we go up there then?
You know what? Hi, Canada.
Yeah, we want our studio back.
Come on up. We'll treat you right.
All right, Brian. Thank you.
All right, man. We'll see you later, bro.
All right.
Thanks,
Okay, bye.
All right. We'll break and we'll get into the rape thing.
We should get
Japanese
this comedian
rape
on the
games
phone.
Back in the news.
We should try to get this guy on the phone, man. I've been meaning to bring this up for the last couple of days. I kept forgetting.
Well, let's get a producer to do that for us.
Yes! I'll hire one.
Tell Steve we need Corey on the phone.
Yes, this is Corey. I guarantee it. I wager my
Let's see if he's. He might already be working on it. Should we can we real quick?
Wait.
Before we break, please just call him in, and I want to know that since this has happened, if he is pursued.
Oh my God.
Well, I got an audio feed in his office, so let's see what
good.
he's doing.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Hold on. Let's see. He should
Wow,
be
it
coming right
sounds
down
a
the
little-
hall right now because he obviously listens to the show.
No, Sam's going to have to tell him to come down.
Let's see if he knows what we want. Hi, where's Steve? Can we grab him? Yeah, no, here he comes. He's looking in the office. What's happening? Which way is the studio?
He just asked for some intel. He just asked for some intel. He left his studio and popped his head in another one. Like, why do they need me?
Well, he's really
What's
busy.
going on?
Can't you see him? Can't you see he's holding papers?
Yes. Look at him coming down the hall. Yes. A rolling producer gathers no material. Hi, Steve.
All right, so
Fellas, what would you like?
is it possible we can
Wait,
get him?
you don't know what we like?
Is it possible we can get him?
I was literally in a meeting with the two suits down the hall with one earpiece, listening to the
Suits
show.
on hangers.
All right, so you
I,
were
I heard you talking about the rape video games. I
Suits.
heard you talking about all the other
means
stuff.
lawsuits.
hold on. You were listening to the show during your meeting, so what do we need?
I don't know. I really don't know who specifically
Why
you're
did
asking.
you say you were listening?
I heard Jim say, I really want to get this guy on the phone. Let's get him on the phone. And then I'm like, oh, boy. So,
But how about before that? Well, just please, if you can, just try. I don't know if we can do it today.
just get
but
him on the phone.
Thank you.
Do you know who?
no, I don't. Help me out.
Yes.
Well, if it's any consolation, no one in the office was able to help me out either. So I was able to go. I was like, guys, I was just in a meeting. Can you please assist me? I know they're looking for something. Can you please help me out? And they all looked at me going, I don't know. I don't know.
All right, well, go figure it out. Someone knows. Someone knows.
What's that from? Somebody knows.
Somebody knows.
All right. I will go figure out what it is you guys want.
All right, good.
You're welcome.
And did anybody see? I know we're going to break, but did anybody see there was a special?
Yes, I did. It was amazing.
Well, it was a special on why men fuck other men in the ass.
Shit.
Oh, did you turn that one around? Now we got Guy Earle on the line. He's the
Comedian from Canada
right. Okay, let's get right into this.
who's having a human rights issue, which this story has been driving me fucking
Batty?
crazy. Guy,
Yeah,
hey man, how are you?
it's been driving you crazy. How do you think I feel?
Yeah, it's got to be, dude. It's got to be enraging. Now, for anybody that's not up to speed,
Well, have him walk us through the
Yeah.
basics. Guy, what happened that night? Just to refresh everyone's memory there.
Well, I could have used a guy that can pitch with both arms, that's for sure. I tell you that.
Yeah.
But, okay, so I was hosting an open mic night for the last 7 months in this bar every Tuesday night. And
Career's going well, huh?
oh, no, I got a day gig. I do this for the love of the art form.
Oh, okay.
I promote stand-up by providing a stage for amateurs, and I help them through it. And there's hundreds of comics with a little bit of guy in them.
all right.
Anyway, we'll leave that one go. But,
Well, now we know why you got arrested. By the way. There's no surprise there.
what can I say? I'm a lover, not a fighter. So anyway, I had these girls with comfortable shoes came into my
Yes.
in the middle of my show, at the end of my show, and they were talking loud over the show. I don't think they were well trained with what a comedy show is all about. So I gave them a few chances. You know, I'm trying to get them to be quiet and attend to the show. I brought up another comic. They talked through his entire act. I went back up. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I went back up, and they were like, fuck you, you're an asshole, you're not funny. And which I responded, oh, yeah, well, you're not lesbian, you're just fat and ugly, and nobody will fuck you.
That's great. You did what you
You
should
know,
have
it's
done as a
standard.
comic. They hit you, and you fucking hit back harder.
Yes.
Yeah, man, I'm known to be brutal to hecklers. That's part of my charm.
Good.
And the whole thing of this show, people used to come to the show because I have these douchebag amateur comics that are half-assed, and half the time I'm abusing them. So, I mean, people came to the show because it's this kind of a nature. It's an edgy comedy show.
Right.
You guys know what I'm talking about. It's not everybody's cup of tea.
Oh,
But,
watch it. Language.
Can you ring the bell every time?
you know, in Vancouver, they got some weird laws, and one of them is at 11 o'clock you can't be drinking on the patio of a bar. So these guys were outside the whole time, all through the show. They were there before I even got there at 7 o'clock. I was out there putting the sign out, edgiest show in Vancouver, and I'm like, hey, guys, you should come in for the comedy show. And they're like, no, we're not interested. We're just here hanging out. Nah, 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 nah. And, I went out there a couple times,
these
invited them
imitations.
in. And they were on the other side of the wall outside, and I don't think they had any inclination to be part of the show. So when they came in, you have to understand this area of Vancouver is very lesbianic.
Right.
And Commercial Drive, it's just like Lesbianville, which shows I'm not homophobic, because why the hell would I open up a show in Lesbianville unless I didn't care? So,
Earle, hold on. She comes in with her friend, and they're being like, and I know exactly what you mean. They're being loud and annoying, and as a comic, your job is you want to just fucking murder them. When did it get really nasty? Like, she said to you, you're not funny, and then you responded to her, and then what was the progression after the initial conflict?
Well, I gave them 3 chances. It's like, shut the fuck up. Can we move on? No, we can't. Okay, thanks very much. And when they said, fuck you, you're an asshole, you're not funny, right. And I just ripped a new one off them. Like I said, I'm like, you're fat and ugly, nobody will fuck you. Somebody put a dick in her mouth, shut her the fuck up. What happens when you're both on the rag? Who gets to choose who goes on a fishing trip? Which one of you wears a strap on? Because that's silicon cock crazy. It's still cock crazy in my book. Maybe you're not lesbian. Maybe you're just experimenting, half drunk, and you want me to fuck you. Well, guess what? I'm not going to. Stuff like
you
this.
Just unloaded, basically. You had enough of these two, yeah.
And half the amateur comics are going, ooh, and I'm like, shut up. I provide a stage for you. You guys don't even know what traditional stand-up's all about.
Yeah.
And
by the way, there's nothing worse than a comedian going, ooh.
I know.
Like siding with the audience, little faggots.
And this is a kind of abusive room where it's usually just comics in the audience anyway, so It's like people are heckling each other. It's a free-for-all. And like I said,
never
people
take
come
sides
to the
against the comedian again.
Yeah, well, we have like a cult following, people that are obviously sick in the head, but they just want to see us be abusive and whatnot. That's the art form, sorry, but this is a place where offensive stuff goes down, and the Human Rights Tribunal doesn't have the jurisdiction to stick their frickin' nose in there.
Hold on, let me ask you, now this is, again, in the States, we don't know if we have the Human Rights Tribunal. So this woman basically is suing you. And
it was a setup, man. It was a setup.
Well, did she go... Now, does the tribunal, is this a statement on Canada's free speech or political correctness? Or is this one citizen, like in the U.S., if I said something to somebody on stage, they could technically sue me, even though they probably would not win?
Right.
Is that what this is?
Well, this is a super legal judicial group. This has nothing to do with the law. These guys are like pseudo-law. So we still have the civil courts like you guys do in case we wanted to take a guy to court for whatever. Same mechanism there. But we have this extra kangaroo court that kind of moves above the law. And it's for me, it's scary because this could be a stimulus package for hecklers, you know?
Yeah.
You can go to an open mic night and make a good $10,000 on a free comedy show. So,
Earle, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is the Human Rights Tribunal, is the idea of that, are they saying, like, if you persecute somebody because they're gay or black or, anything but white, basically, which we all know how that works, is there any, is that what they're for, supposedly to stop people from being persecuted?
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of different sections in their code. One of them deals with hate speech. Another one deals with the discrimination of the provision of service.
What is I'm sorry, what is hate speech considered? Like, as a stand-up, would that be considered hate speech? Or
the Opie and Anthony show?
Yeah.
Well, I from what my understanding is, hate speech is when you're actually inciting violence and trying to get people to beat other people up, or you know what I mean?
Okay, that's actually all right. That's not protected here either. You can't incite people to violence or to commit crimes.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's just different terminology, but basically we have the same system, I think, except that we never had Lenny Bruce put down the pavement here, and it's just these guys don't understand that there can't be like I said, I was set up. These girls went in there. They knew if they could get me going and they could goad me, that they have a mechanism to go to the Human Rights Tribunal and try to seek damages. They knew about that. They were not intimidated. I didn't physically intimidate them or single them out because of their sexuality. They were making out and flipping me the bird, saying, "This is Commercial Drive. We're lesbians. We own this place. We don't care if you're doing a frickin' comedy show." So it was really frustrating. And now it's been 3 years of my frickin' life dealing with these.
This was
articles.
3 years ago?
Yeah, it says it right there, May
Oh, my
2007.
God.
This travels slow up there like molasses.
This has been going on for 3 years. No surprise with the court system.
Lorna Party
no matter
is
what
the woman.
fucking country you live
Now,
in.
is she paying legal fees? Is she paying legal fees, Earl?
Oh, no, man.
Guy, I'm sorry.
She's being covered by the gov, man. This is a government-sponsored cash grab. It's offensive.
That's fucking sickening. And you have to pay for your own attorney.
Of course. I have to pay for everything. I've been flying across the frickin' country. But, guys, I got to tell you this, man. This is huge news. I'm so frickin' excited. As of last night...
to clear that up.
Sorry. As of last night, a major development here. As you guys may know, my lawyer walked out on Monday at the beginning of the tribunal to say that these proceedings are illegal because we quashed them through the Supreme Court. Like, they're talking about this in frickin' Parliament down here.
Wow.
And so what we did was we said that since they circumvented our Charter of Freedom here, we're saying that the proceedings are illegal. And today, my lawyer's going to Supreme Court, and we're charging the Human Rights Commission with contempt, baby.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
So what can happen to me, that commission, if it works like as an additional thing, it basically it almost seems like it's not needed, because if you violate somebody's civil rights, that's covered under the law, I'm sure, in Canada as well as here.
Absolutely.
So it really is like a political correct policing. And this Lorna Party, I'm just looking at her and I fucking hate her. I hate her guts, and I don't like her Dimitri Martin hairdo.
She's a big fat liar. Well, she's not fat, but she's a liar. She's not fat and ugly, so that proves that I was frickin' joking.
Yeah, of course. That'll help you out. Now you could become the new the Lenny Bruce of Canada there.
It looks like Dave Grohl.
Well,
in the early days.
In the beginning, this is pretty overwhelming because I just fight for the right for comics to get up there and be offensive, even offend me. That's my game.
Right.
I care about the art form of stand-up. Now it's a battle about free speech in Canada. It's huge. Like, this battle is bigger than me. So I'm actually, at this point, I'm kind of honored to be the poster boy in this battle.
And with that said, a lot of people trying to get a hold of you.
Oh man,
talk
this is my 30th interview in 3 days. You know.
Well, is it helping you stand up at all?
You would have thought some of those jokes wouldn't work.
Well, I'm actually off the beaten path. I moved back here from Vancouver.
You tried 30 times to get
for
nothing.
a job, and I got a new kid. I'm kind of taking a little break right now, and when this whole thing settles, I'll be back, baby. You know it.
So yeah, you should. Hopefully, it will help you draw a little bit. I mean, it is really, really enraging though that Canada would entertain this fucking nonsense. Look, just because you're a stand-up, and they're going to say just because you're a stand-up, you can't behave any way you want to somebody and not be held accountable just because you're a stand-up. Like, you can't actually violate somebody's civil rights.
Yeah, but I'm on stage performing, right? So we got a publication. We have all kinds of speech issues here that are in the Charter of Canada that are being circumvented by this quasi-legal group of arseholes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I tell you what, though, I got material coming out of my ass right now. I could go on stage for 4 hours the way
I
I'm
guess we'll have to
feeling.
believe you.
So why aren't you still performing?
Like I said, I got a newborn, and I got the day gig, and I'm off the beaten path. So it's just not really convenient. I'd rather get this over with, and I'll be back.
How much does it cost you so far?
Oh well, I've moved across the country 3 times. It's been 3 years of.
They got free court care up there.
What's that?
Free court care.
Free court care.
Yeah,
I think you get that. You're able to.
I don't know, man.
Just a
it's
joke.
a government-sponsored cash grab, is what it is. And,
I agree. How much have you spent?
I can't put a figure on it, man. It's been 3 years of my life. I've changed my lifestyle. I've made changes of where I work.
So have I.
Have you changed? Have you spent more than 20 grand?
I would say so.
Oh, I would say, yeah.
Canadian?
Hey, man, that's like 25 American now.
Yeah, you know, they got the upper hand right now, Ant. That joke doesn't work these days.
Teasing.
We can switch the joke now.
So what do you mean you had to change jobs and all that? Why?
Well, because I had to leave Vancouver because these guys got the homosexual community to threaten bars that they would boycott their establishment if they let me perform.
Yeah, very good free speech. Very good special interest group free speech.
Are you
We don't like
kidding
what
me?
he's saying, so we won't drink there.
Man,
they don't protest. By the way, they wouldn't say that if somebody drank in the bar and drunk drove and killed somebody.
Boycott.
No, I know.
Sounds
These
sexy.
guys, they have a mandate
Twink
to
cod.
put themselves on the map, and we're supposed to respect whatever. It's like,
Holy
you know,
shit,
I don't
paid her
get the
$10 million.
same credence being a white heterosexual, and what's the personification of my character? An asshole.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it, man. It's because people have been twittering me about it a lot and asking me, you know, what I think. And I don't know. Look, I think it stinks for you. I really do. And it's like it's easy to comment if it was here in the U.S. because I'm more familiar with the.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't bode well. Because I know Canada's very, very politically correct, and they're even worse than we are in certain cases, which is hard to imagine.
Well, it would shut down stand up.
Yeah, well,
I mean, what guy would go up there and make fun of anybody?
Well, that's right.
If you lose
somebody
this.
heckles you, you have to make sure that they're not part of a protected group before you respond.
No
It's
kidding.
bullshit.
That is sickening. Once this fucking woman, and I'm looking at her and I hate her guts on sight. I despise her fucking striped shirt. And as far as I'm concerned as a comic, you did fucking absolutely the right thing.
Of course.
If she was talking and making out with her fucking girlfriend, you should have verbally destroyed her. You did exactly what you should have done.
All right.
But, you know,
Shit's
it
the
is
cock.
a state of despair, this politically correct nature of this country.
Yep.
And I just want to mention, that's what stand-ups are for. We're the pointy edge of the stick. We're the canaries in the coal mine of free speech.
here we go.
We're the guys that are offensive and trying to push the frickin' pendulum back to where it belongs.
Yes. I understand.
We're
The other
taking-
way.
We're taking these numbnuts to frickin' Supreme Court. We're going to change this frickin' country. We're going to make history this week. And I just did my little part to make this place a little bit more crude, and I feel so proud about that.
I like the way you handle it, too. You're not apologetic about it.
No,
and,
I'm
I'm not
good for you.
apologizing to those bastards.
I do
for
hope
you.
that you get what you want, man. It's like little stuff like this actually does sometimes change the law. So good luck, man. We hope you win. And when are you going to have more news? Hopefully this week, or
I guess maybe Monday or Tuesday we'll have an update there.
all right. Well, keep us posted, man. I would really like to know what's going on with that because
Okay,
again,
awesome,
I'm going to
guys.
be in
Thanks.
Canada performing in fucking July. So I would hopefully nice kick in the balls for that politically correct system. Good for
Hey,
you,
man, I'd
man.
love to come down there and do some shows for you guys anytime, buddy.
Yeah, we'll be in touch with that. We'll figure it out for you.
All right, guy. Good luck, man.
Stay by
Thanks, guys.
stay by the phone.
Yeah, we'll figure something out for you, Guy.
Okay, buddy.
Guy Earle.
Good luck, buddy.
Everyone. Guy Earle. Wow, that's enraging.
It's fucking. As
about
he's
his
talking,
material.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say his call.
I didn't care about that.
No, you know what it
Jimmy,
is?
come on, it's just a fucking joke. His
yeah,
jokes were a little
Dude,
rough.
as he's talking, I don't give a fuck. I'm fucking biting. My jaw is moving to one direction. I'm thinking about this heckler. It's really annoying.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course.
They should have no fucking juice when they go into a comedy club. All bets are off. You sit there, you watch the show, you don't like it, you can get up and leave. You can fucking leave. It's those people that have to fucking say things and then take it to court.
The British
Get the fuck
Columbia
outta here.
Human Rights, and they're fucking targeting as stand-up, these fucking cunts.
How about why wouldn't they target like a movie or a play or any other form of entertainment where maybe you don't like what you see going on stage?
Well,
why is it okay to just stand up and yell shit out and then sue the performer?
But Ant, they'll do
when
that
it's a
next.
comic?
That's why you got to push
Yeah.
back with these things.
Nip it in the bud, eh?
That's right. That's why you got to fight all this shit. Because
Yeah.
like I think you taught me years ago, they don't stop there. They
No,
just
no
keep
one
on
stops.
going.
They never pack up and leave.
They keep on going to the next thing.
I don't think he was set up. I disagree with that. I don't know the women, but I honestly don't think it's like the setup to
I
me.
ran into a couple of cunts.
Yeah, just a couple of twats.
Yeah, I think
who-
it was consequences.
Yeah, we're gonna go and sue you. We're gonna go to the Human Rights Tribunal because they smash their fucking faces.
Yeah. All right, we should take a break.
She is ugly too, by the way.
Break.
We've been trashing Canada once in a while, and people get mad.
Could you say "Oh Canada"? Could you sing it?
Oh, Canada. And remember we had the comedian on who fucking had the Human Rights Tribunal because he insulted these women,
right.
called them dykes.
Yeah.
Well, in Canada, he has been ordered to pay $15,000.
Good. Oh, I mean bad.
And here's what it was. To Lorna Party, he has to order to pay for injury to dignity, feelings, and self-respect. Very injured.
Bring us back. He was doing his act in Canada, and
He was an MC.
right.
And
I
guess
vaguely remember this guy. It's been a while.
Yeah, her and her girlfriend were drinking on the patio, and they were told that they can't drink on the patio outdoors after 11 at this establishment. Maybe it's the rules of the law. I don't know. So they come inside. I guess they're heckling, and it said that they were. Let me see here. A group of 3 women were told by the staff they had to come inside, and there was he was hosting this open mic night. After a few heckles were reportedly hurled from where the women were sitting. He retaliated from the stage, which was responded to with a display of smooching between Party and her then girlfriend. So they start making out. So he admits calling them fat and ugly, among much cruder epithets. And the exchange was followed by a physical thing, which Earle broke Party's sunglasses, although he later offered to pay the replacement. All right, now that's a problem.
Well,
but you can't do anything physical with an audience.
Yeah.
Although I don't know whose fault it was. Like who?
Oh,
thank you.
Gesundheit.
That's the what? That got me laughing too, Dave. What was that one about?
I just had to sneeze.
That was like,
No, it was a. It was a cartoon sneeze.
The tribunal. These fucking
a tribunal.
pukey, fucking liberal fucking words. Imagine if he had insulted Catholicism and there was this kind of a witch hunt. Can you imagine the fucking? I mean, there's been an outcry, but the outcry. How could you allow that? The tribunal ruled the harassment of Party was both verbal and physical, and involved both aggressiveness and physical contact, which gave merit to her claim of having suffered post-traumatic stress disorder.
Oh man, you know what? Go to a military hospital,
Dude,
you fucking cunt.
You heckling cunt.
And see people that really have post-traumatic stress disorder. Shut up.
Yeah, they throw that around a little too
You
easily.
are fat and ugly.
I don't know what she
Shut
looks
it.
like, but what a fucking vomit-inducing story. The Human Rights Tribunal is fucking despicable. But that's what it is. That's what it's come to.
Sometimes you got to
People ask
appreciate.
why I never go up there to perform. That's why.
Yeah. You got to appreciate this country sometimes. The First Amendment, good one.
They don't have. I mean, do they have a First Amendment?
They have some type of constitution. I don't even know what's in it. It's probably hockey rules.
It's a little different.
Crazy people up there. Crazy people.
That's enraging.
They gave us a speech when we started on XM Canada. You got to be a little careful up here. It's a little different.
No, you don't.
Well, I know. So they handle it.
I did Montreal. It was okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like the Montreal
It's
Comedy Festival. Just because all you
fine.
guys were up there performing at the same time.
I did all right.
It was a blast.
I enjoyed it.